Hey everybody, been a while since I posted, but got some videos I'm trying to catch up on here. They kind of been stacking up on me, but this was a spearfishing trip to Anthill rig on 31st of July, about a month ago. We're exiting Packery here, headed out. It's probably a 35-mile run to get out to Anthill from Packery. Seas a little bumpy. Couldn't quite run full speed getting out there. I think this trip was just a little bit bumpy getting there, so it took us a minute to get there, but finally got out here diving with Atlee Dubose and his son Cody. That was Cody standing next to me in the boat here. I just did my back roll. Cody is kind of new to spearfishing, and the goal of this trip is to shoot some red snapper, hopefully, but primarily is to try to get Cody on some fish. So me, Atlee, and Cody are gonna make a couple of dives here. I'll kind of just put it all into, on the video it's going to look like one long dive, but this is a couple of different dives. I just kind of mashed all the footage into one where it looks like one long dive. But goal is to get Cody on some fish, let him shoot some stuff, hopefully some red snapper or whatever we can find here. So we're in the water, descending from the surface here. This is Atlee just ahead of me. There's Cody back behind me as I look back. Water's pretty clear. You can see the top of the rig here. It's cut at 40 feet. I'm going to kind of cut around Atlee here. Video is going to speed up a little bit. I'm going to kind of zip through the descent process here. But I kind of go down pretty quick. I'm checking to make sure everybody's kind of keeping up with me. Nobody's having any ear issues. From here, we're going to sit on the rig right here at 40 feet. I'm already kind of scanning down, seeing what's down there. I'm looking for red snapper to come up. They're almost never up here shallow. They're always going to be really, really deep. We're going to have to go down, and hopefully they're going to come up to us. But before we head down, we're going to get the guns loaded up, get everything kind of ready to go here. I'm going to be hunting for myself. See Atlee here is getting his gun ready. He's going to hand that off to Cody once we get into position to kind of shoot some stuff. So kind of game plan is we're going to go up current. That's what I'm signaling here. Let's go up current and then descend. I prefer to do that if you end up fighting a fish and for some reason you get kind of washed by the current. Hopefully you'll end up surfacing somewhere near the boat and not way out behind the boat. Here I'm pointing out there's a bristle worm. I'm trying to say don't touch this, it will stab you. Right? Even if you rub against it with your wetsuit, it won't sting you at the moment, but when you take your wetsuit off later, those spines are a pretty good chance they're going to find you as you peel it inside out. So I'm swimming along the 40s here at 40 foot. I'm scanning around. I see some horseye jacks. A lot of this little stuff is kind of a mixed bag. There's some more horseye jacks coming up, turning sideways. I can see the next horizontals down there. Those are at 120 roughly. The fish we're looking for are probably going to be below that. So the plan is to get down to those next horizontals. You see those cut pipes here. The top of those pipes, where most of those are cut, the top of that cut is at about 100 feet. Checking back on Cody, making sure he's okay. Looking back at Atlee. Again, those horizontals above us are at 40. The top of those cut pipes right there is at 100. And we get down to the next horizontals, that's about 120. Big horseye jack in my face here. There's some spades down below. Not really a whole lot. I have seen some kind of random gray snapper here and there. A lot of these are Creole fish. The Creole fish are pretty good white meat. It's a little chewy. Often have parasites around the stomach lining. But they're pretty obvious, pretty easy to trim out. They're just so small, they're just not really worth the effort. But actually not bad eating. Again, there's top of those pipes at about 100. Kind of looking up here, you can see the viz is really good. You can see through the rig pretty well. Gray snapper, you see that big dark eye. Kind of solid grayish in color, darker tail. That kind of differentiates them from the red snapper. Most of these solos here you see, a lot of these are gray snapper. That's a gray, that's a gray, that's a gray. The one with the bright yellow is a Spanish hogfish. Those are pretty common. Comes an amberjack. So we get down here on structure. I'm going to double check, make sure everybody's okay. Cody says he's all right. Reach back to Atlee. He says okay. So now we're going to kind of get down here and basically sit on the rig and look down through it. And what we're kind of expecting from here is hopefully there's red snapper down there and they're going to get curious and they're going to come up to us. Now, these are all gray snapper you're seeing. We could be shooting at these, but again, the reason I'm holding off is we're hoping red snapper are going to come up, so I'm not shooting these like I normally would be. Those are all pretty edible fish here. Every single one of those are gray snapper. And just kind of scan around. Amberjack's going to come in, give us a little buzz. These guys aren't scared of anything. Another one. Again, I'm just kind of scanning around. There in the distance that I was just looking at to the right were some vermilion snapper. Those are vermilion over there. That's kind of why I'm saying let's head over this way. I don't see any red snapper coming up, so what I'm thinking at this point is want to shoot something, and all of these fish you're seeing here are good shootable fish. Some of them are grays, but most of these are vermilion. The grays are kind of flat on the bottom, and they have a kind of a rounded top overall profile. The vermilion are kind of rounded on the top and on the bottom. The bottom of the body is not as flat looking as it is with grays, but mostly the color gives them away. The kind of the darker color, those are grays. Those vermilions are have like some bright yellow spots and stuff on them. Of course, here comes the whole gang of amberjack. 1, 2, 3. There's probably 9 or more amberjack there. Of course, they're brutes. They're not scared of anything. They just kind of swarm in on us. If these were sharks, I'd be a little bit more concerned. This is July 31st. Amberjack season here opens the day after this trip, so they're pretty lucky amberjack season is not open yet, or I'd have shot one of those guys. That would have been the whole dive though, right? But we're looking to try to shoot more here, so we can't shoot the amberjack. Again, those vermilion kind of swam away from us. I'm trying to get Cody, who's in the blue, trying to get him on a fish. We don't have much time down here at 120 feet. When we arrived, we had about 8 minutes, I think, something like that. It's not much time at all, so he's getting the gun handed to him, you know, directing him how to get the safety off. We're not going to shoot at anything big. We're not going to shoot any jacks. There's some horse eyes going up there, some amberjack coming up on the bottom. Kind of just want them to shoo away. They will try to eat your fish off the shaft once you shoot it if you don't bring it to you quickly. They can be a nuisance. Again, they're super brave. They're not scared of divers at all. So again, these vermilion snapper are kind of swimming away. I'm hoping so they're decent size. A lot of times they're too small to bother with, or they're way outside the rig. Usually pretty deep. Every once in a while you'll find some bigger ones like these kind of inside the rig. The catch is, it's hard to swim around and point at stuff and go, oh, you should go shoot that. In order to shoot it, like kind of what I'm going to do here, you really just need to take the safety off, swim toward them, kind of pick a fish out, kind of get your lead on them, and take your shot when you get your shot, and then the school's going to swim off, and you'll be lucky if you get that one shot. If you hesitate at all, you approach too slowly, they're just going to swim away and be gone. So that guy I hit real shallow. I hit him, but he kind of tore off. So loss on my part. Bad aiming. Got some look downs, big school look downs here right in my face. All those other fish are vermilion snapper. Again, they're all pretty fair size. I would shoot and eat every one of those fish if I could get close. They do tend to be kind of skittish. They're hard to get close to. Here, I've kind of cut scene. We're up at the 40s again. We're not down at 120 here. We're back up a little bit shallower. Again, we didn't get much time at that depth. We spent a little bit of time down there. Took a couple shots. Cody took a shot, but I didn't get footage of it. I happened to be looking away at the moment he pulled the trigger, so I didn't include the footage of that. Boom. So I'm messing around with my new video editor here. I've got some cool sounds to add, and I thought that was just kind of funny adding that shotgun sound in there. But a little gray snapper here. These are kind of easy to just kind of stack up here at 40 feet. It's kind of shallow. You can dive here for quite a long time. Your air lasts a long time. Your bottom time is like ridiculous. It's way longer than what your air supply is going to last anyway. So it's kind of what we're doing here is just shoot some small stuff, some gray snapper. It is hard for me to point out to other people, hey, come here, go shoot that fish. Because there's so many fish, and a lot of them are really small. They don't always know which ones I'm talking about. And when I'm doing this, it's like, why aren't you already there shooting that fish, is my mentality. Because when I point, it's, you need to get down there and shoot that thing right now. And I get from their perspective, I can't even tell what fish I'm pointing at on the video here, so it's hard for me to point out to other people to come and shoot and what fish to shoot. Got me another gray snapper there. I think we had already had a few misses at this point, kind of down deeper, and I'm just trying to put stuff on the stringer right now. So that's the second gray I got. Here's Cody's aiming at, I believe these are big blue runners. I can't recall. He doesn't pull the trigger there, but close. I was kind of filming, thought he was going to get a shot on something, but not on that one. So I catch this little gray here. Again, I'm up at 40 feet, sitting on the rig, dealing with this guy. Kind of put him out of his misery so he doesn't fight me and poke me. Put my knife back in the sheath. Reach down, looking for my stringer. And I don't have my stringer. So, crap, how am I going to get this guy to the surface? I can't just carry him around. So, Cody also has a stringer that they're carrying. So I'm going to kind of wave him over, have him come swim up to me. Of course, he assumes I'm going to check his air, which I probably am going to do anyway. But primarily what I'm trying to get to is, hey, come here. Do you have the stringer? That's what I'm kind of signal here. The stringer, poke through his eyes. Where is it? Do you have it? The hook. Where is it? And he looks. He doesn't have it. And I look back at I look back at Atlee. Maybe Atlee has it. Atlee doesn't have it either. So crap. We got no stringer underwater. I feel kind of dumb. So get this out of him. I go ahead and unroll my dive pocket. My BC happens to have a big pocket I can stick flashlights or whatever in. It kind of just rolls out when you need it. I'm just going to stuff this guy in there head first. He won't generally come out. Problem is I can't ditch him if I need to ditch him. It's really hard to get him back out of that pocket later, but it'll do for now. So we're back to hunting again. I'm trying to get Cody on fish. I'm looking for small schools of gray snapper where I can just point out several of them and he can just move in and shoot at whichever one he wants. Again, these guys are tempting fate here. These out there a little further look just a little bit bigger. I'm being a little picky here. And miss. Those guys are pretty fast, especially when you shoot at them from a distance. They're pretty good at juking the shaft sometimes. So here's Cody. I just kind of want to put him on something. The grays are a little hard to shoot at, even for me with a lot of experience. So I'm trying to get him something easy win here. So tell him to shoot this barracuda. He lines up on it. He's moving in. Right? He should move in within 10 feet. 10 feet's too far. You really need to get as close as you can. He kind of shoots. He's a bit far away. I'm kind of signaling to him now, telling him with my hands that he needed to be a little bit closer. I'm not sure he actually understood me, though, or exactly what I was trying to say, other than he missed or that maybe he thought I was saying it was too small. So another gray, and he jukes me again. That's great fish. That's great snapper shooting. They're very fast like that. So I'm going to show him here. There's a rock hind sitting to my right. I want to show him, hey, look, I just unloaded 2 bands. I've got 1 band on. I'm about to shoot the rig. But I want to shoot this rock hind that's sitting here. The rock hinds are real easy to shoot. They would be real easy to shoot with a spear pole, honestly, if you wanted to shoot with a spear pole. You wouldn't have to worry about banging the tip of your shaft into the rig or anything. But kind of single band it like that got me a little rock hind for the stringer. Not bad eating. They're kind of cousins to groupers. A lot of people call them strawberry grouper. That's actually a different type of small grouper, but very similar in appearance. So again, kind of pointing out some gray snapper for him to shoot at here. He shoots, takes another miss here. Again, the grays are really hard to shoot. The barracuda are a little bit easier. So at this point, his gun has kind of got it knotted up. Atlee's dealing with his gun. So I kind of just hand him my gun since it's loaded. This barracuda's just sitting here begging for it. So I tell him, hey, go ahead and shoot this cuda. Tell him, come over to the side so you can shoot him perpendicular so you can get the shaft through him. Yep, that guy right there. And he rips off. So you hit him kind of shallow. You can see the white on his back as he swam away there. That was where the shaft basically just tore out when he started fighting really hard. That's why it's important to get a good hit if you can, deep inside the gill plate. It's usually the best place to hit him, keep him from tearing out. some little wrasse here. I think those are bluehead wrasse females. Again, another barracuda asking for it. So again, this should be an easy win. And in my gun again. His gun is kind of down for the count at this point, but he doesn't quite understand how far is too far. This fish is probably 20 feet away. That's way too far. So I'm telling him no. And again, a signal with my hands. I think that time he understood that he was just too far away. The shaft kind of just petered out before it got there. I'd say max range on most of these guns is 10 feet or closer. You really shouldn't be shooting further than that, unless you're shooting at something really soft-bodied, straight down. And that's big enough to hit easy, which isn't anything I can think of. Right, so again, just looking at some grays here. There's a horse-eyed jack on the bottom. Again, he shoots a little bit too far away. I said get closer. But this is all part of the learning process, right? So he's letting me know Cody's down to 1,000 pounds. We're about to head up. This is coming up to the end of the video here. Thank you, Atlee, for inviting me on this trip. It was fun. Again, the point was to kind of try to get Cody some experience, kind of view what's going on, and get hands-on a little bit, take a few shots at some fish. You're going to miss some fish when you're new. That's just kind of how it goes. But a great learning experience. I bet it'll be 10 times better on the next trip. But again, thanks for the invite, Atlee. Pretty good conditions out here. Water was nice and clear. And I'll see you guys in the next video.